I'll probably show that to you tomorrow. Oh boy. So I'm gonna try to get this in. Try to get this in. What I wanted to do is review over this week. And I'll start off with Lingchi, which is death by 1,000 cuts, right? Okay, death by 1,000 cuts. And really, what the purpose of that was to show how you slowly get overwhelmed by things that we open the door to, kind of like the 7 deadly sins. Have one to creep in, and then another, and another, or that one thing will just start to grow and grow and grow until it overtakes you. And to combat that, to close those doors or to keep a check on those doors, to see if they're open, and we do a review. That's Hansei. Hansei, Han is to look upon or turn over. And Sei is to look back and review the past. So it's pretty much self-reflection, okay? When we do this, we want to be aware of our shortcomings. You want to know what tempts you. Take responsibility against those things that are pulling you down, and avoid blaming others, and learn from those past mistakes. So then we looked at ikigai. We had unbalanced ikigai and procrastination. What I wanted to focus on with that was the 4 areas of ikigai where that really touches you and fulfills your life. That's what you love, what you're good at, what you can be paid for, and what you think the world needs, or what the world needs from you. Okay, that you're supplying. And when you're fully living out your ikigai, you are functioning in all 4 of those areas with the things that you do, and you feel fulfilled. When it's unbalanced, though, when you have unbalancing, when you're unbalanced, when something's lacking in one of those areas, you don't be as fulfilled, and you start to procrastinate, and it's easy to be distracted. Doing tasks starts to tire you out. Eventually you develop anxiety and doing things, negative emotions. I remember a job, this is a little side note, where I took a position. I was good at it and I was doing great, but the manager did some underhanded things. And since I didn't agree with those values of how the things were happening, I ended up, starting being late for work. Just thinking about going to work made me tired. Just thinking about the manager's voice gave me anxiety. Just a whole slew of negative emotions. I don't want to be here, lack of motivation, and eventually I quit. Bad part of it was a bad, terrible 3 months. But that's one of the things that pulls you down, is when your ikigai is not being fulfilled. So if you can focus on those things that you love, and the things that you're good at, and what you can be paid for, and what you think the world needs, you go on. You're unstoppable. Now, one of the things that that makes us procrastinate, and I had procrastination and I didn't put it in there, but we procrastinate because things are not lining up the way we think they should be, really. Our upper and our lower intelligences are not aligned, so we can't do those things because there's a battle going on in this brain of ours. Our upper intelligence is the long-term thinking, planning out, okay, we'll do this and we'll see this happen. morning sun. And then the lower intelligence does not think. It doesn't think at all, and all it wants to do is satisfy itself uh, and survive. So if either of those threaten, you, your brain shuts down, or to do something that the upper intelligence would be like, we can't do this, and it wants to do it anyway. And if you give into those like carnal urges and desires, then boom, you're in a world of trouble. But since they're in conflict, um, if the Bible says that can two walk unless they're agreed, walk together unless they're agreed. If they're not in agreement, that's when you see things slow down, things go wrong. You notice things, you stop functioning the way you did when you first started, if at all. So, ikigai gives us those reasons for being. Actually, ikigai loosely translates to reason for being. When we have that reason to get out of bed, then our mental, our upper and our lower intelligence are working together to accomplish whatever it is because it enjoys it. Your lower intelligence, if it doesn't enjoy it, it goes into survival mode. It either shuts down or takes a 180 or 360. It does whatever it can to get away from what it doesn't like, even though it might be better for you in the end. Perfect example of this right now. Yesterday was bad. I'm fighting diabetes, right? All right. So I'm trying to keep a handle on my sugar. Upper knows this. Upper is saying, let's eat salad. And lower is like, something's wrong. I don't have sugar. I need some sweets. I want some cake. All day in my mind, I was like, I need some cake. I want cake. I want some cookies and some cake. Or a brookie, which is a brownie and a cookie. And I was thinking about that all day long until I stopped thinking about it. It was eating me up. I'm like, I really want some cake. And I'm looking around and all I got is like oatmeal. But anyway, so I know what I need to do. If I give into it, I'll be hurting myself. And if somebody came along and was like, hey, look, I got extra cake, I probably would eat it, even though I know that I don't want it. But the lower intelligence, the carnal me, is just like, I need it. Which brings us to today. Let's do this in 5 minutes. Brings us to today, Kaizen. Now, I named this group Kaizen. Kaizen Moai. Kaizen is the continuous incremental improvement. It comes from Kai, which is the change, and Zen, which is good, for the good. So change for the good. When we set out to do our tasks, when we're giving ourselves something to do. And I was thinking about this too as I was sitting in my thinking chair, thinking about things I think about. I was like, man, I understand from all this, reading this book. This is the book. I understand. I want to be a millionaire. Or, I want to save $1 million. My mind, my upper is like, we can do this. We can do this. It was $1 million. But the average person, I'm pretty sure the average person doesn't want, everybody wants to have $1 million, right? I hope, or, to be well off, wealthy. But to do that, you got to set big goals. I know here in the West, we're like, we got to set big goals. We got to do this. We can do this. And our upper is satisfied. It's like, we can do this. Let's plan this out. We can do this. And our lower is like, it's too big. I don't understand. The quickest way to get $1 million in the lower sense was, okay, we'll go to the gas station and we'll buy lottery tickets. And you might spend $1 million trying to get that million. We got to satisfy both upper and lower where they work together to get us to where we want to be. With that said, Kaizen is continuous incremental improvements. So we take a big goal and we break it down into tiny bite-sized portions. Brian Tracy always says, how you eat an elephant, one bite at a time. We don't look at the elephant and say, okay, I'm going to eat this thing. Because the lower would be like, yeah, we'll start, but not going to finish. It gets paralyzed with fear. It gets, if it's not being gratified, if it's not being satisfied by what it's set out to do, then it doesn't want to do it. So you have the plan, which is the long term, and then you have the bite-sized pieces. You have the Kaizen way of doing it, which is in small increments to satisfy the lower, right? Now, if I want to lose weight, it's easy for me to say in my upper brain, I want to lose 10 pounds. This was easy. We'll just drink water for, the next 2 months and not eat anything. You'll lose the 10 pounds. But your lower will go crazy and say, you stupid. We ain't doing nothing. We're going to keep on eating. We on our way to McDonald's right now. So when we break it down, though, it's just like, okay, we'll cut back. We'll do intermittent. I'll say we'll do, instead of for lunch, we'll just have a protein shake or something like that. And it can do that. It can probably see, while I'm doing this, I'm thinking of the lower right here. The lower is probably saying, okay, I can do that. I'll agree. Or it'll say, you present it to yourself in a way that is so small, even though it's getting you to where you want to go, it's so small that there's immediate gratification, or it's there. The reward is there. I accomplished this thing. Yay, me. I can celebrate. And I don't mean go celebrate with another piece of donut. But you can celebrate. Lower is like, yes, I can do it. I can do it. This is great. I can do a protein shake. I like those things. So it's satisfied. The upper is seeing the long term and it's satisfied. So they're both working together, and you can do this for a period of time till you get to where you want to go. And we have to approach things this way, because if we don't, they don't work together, and then we miss out. All right. So we'll continue this conversation tomorrow. I'm glad to see everybody this morning. Happy Thursday. Let's make it a thriller, right? Kampai. Have a great day. Love you, man.